Well, thank you very much for staying live here with us on The Pulse. My name is Nathaniel Atto, and you're welcome to this special edition of Sports on Pulse as we're coming to you from the Accra Stadium. Now, earlier today, the successful launch of the Magdan Colts football tournament was launched at the Accra Stadium, and it attracted loads of numbers of people within juvenile football and Colts football. Now, we all know the story of Colts football in Ghana. In the last few years, we've seen the decline of that particular building block of our football, and of course there's been many clubs who have produced most of the players who've played in the national team and have applied their trade in big clubs in Europe and elsewhere in the world. Now, I've been joined by a few people who are key within the organization of the Colts football tournament sponsored by the Magdan Group, and one of them is the technical director of the Ghana FA, Coach Otia Kenton. Coach,
Nat, if you heard me right, I said it was a significant day, very significant, because this is the time that we are building our football from the grassroots to the elite. Hitherto, it had been the other way around. You see the pyramid. On top of the pyramid is the Black Stars, and that is where our football has been. They always want to think about the Black Stars, forgetting about the foundation. But you need to lay a solid foundation. Remember, when you even want to put up a building and you don't have a sound foundation, you see that when you put the blocks on, the building will fall. So there is the need for us to start right from the grassroots. Unfortunately for Ghana, we have the FIFA supporting us from the 6 years to 12 years. So from 13 years to 15, our people can take it up and then do what we have to do to make sure that at least the academies can also absorb some of them. But there is the need. There is the need for us to start right from the grassroots. That's the pyramid, down of the pyramid. Then in the middle, you have the 13 years to 21 years. And then on, you get to the Black Stars. So it is good that this is the way now. With the Magdan sponsorship, I believe that everybody will take a very good cue of it, and then probably we progress from one step to the other. Nat, probably I have to put it at the National Juvenile Committee. They are responsible for this. You know, there is no clear setup for these calls, but it is very important. It is a bedrock. Whatever at all that we do, that should be the starting lineup. It should be the bedrock, and we need to accord it as such. So whether it is in the statute or not, we need to work on it. But it is in the statute. You can never get away from it. That is the Juvenile Association, the National Juvenile Association, and they take care of it. And you see, every region has it, except that the number is too big. If you look at it, there was a time that about 3 years ago, you had almost about 3,000 Colts teams. And remember, even if the association has 3,000 balls, and you are distributing for the 3,000 teams, it means every team is going to get one. So, and will it be okay for us? No. Where you need to start with the fundamentals. So it's really sad, and we need to. That's why I said we should find a ways and means of making sure that it is properly grounded, whereby now we can now look at the levels and then move ahead.
All right. Thank you. That was the technical director of the Ghana Football Association. Now, the tournament will be run with an ambassador who is a great of Ghana football. He emerged at a certain point at the Africa Cup of Nations as top scorer. George Alassane, several years down the line, is still looking very good.
You're welcome, sir.
Okay. First of all, tell us what you've been up to, with yourself, over the last 5 to 10 years.
Over the last 10 years, I was in US for about 18 years. Yeah, and then later on, I was invited to Dubai because a team I played before, one of the players was the president of the club. So he invited me to come and coach the youth. So I've done that for 2 years. Now I'm back home, thinking what to do next. I've formed a under-17 team, and we even have a tournament to play in Cyprus coming December. So,
All right. Now, away from all of these, for those of you who've been there before and know the rudiments of the game and know what it means to wear the national jersey, would you accept any opportunity once it's given to you to handle any of the national teams?
of course, Ghana is our country. We have to use our experience to help the juvenile ones. But it seems to me only in Ghana they have abandoned most of the AFCON winners. So any other country in the world will never do that. But Ghana, they have abandoned us because we have more experience that if we are in one of these national teams, we could use that experience to help them.
I see. Now, when you say abandon, we've seen some administrations, for instance, the previous administration or the previous government led by President Mahama extended a certain amount to take care of all of the winners of the Africa Cup of Nations in terms of saying thank you. It was a token amount. Also, we've had one or two people, get the opportunity to coach the national teams. So, is it that you've not been? Do you feel that you personally have not been acknowledged well enough?
Not about the tokens we were given. It's because we have so many national teams, from 17 to national team, and we have women too. So if you look around the whole national teams, how many winners of AFCON players are with them? How many? Only Kwesi Appiah. Or can you mention anyone again? Only Kwesi Appiah. That's why I said we were abandoned, because they don't regard us. Whatever we did it just for nothing.
Okay, let's come to this. You're a key part of the rollout of the Magdan Coats tournament. I mean, you were in this country during a period where Coast football was very, very active and was churning out great material. How does this come to solve some of our problems at the developmental base of our football?
Yeah, believe me, after this particular tournament, give yourself 2 years. Most of these boys are going to be invited to